my friends. Nearly 2.5 centuries ago, a fire was lit across the 13 colonies. It began not with muskets, but with ideas, simple, dangerous ideas. That all men are created equal, that government exists only by the consent of the governed, and that liberty is not gift from kings, but a right from the Creator. In the years before the war, it was Great Britain from whom we sought our independence, a distant power that wished to tax the American colonists without their voice or consent. No taxation without representation became the cry, for they knew that people who could be taxed without a say in their own governance could be bound in chains just as easily. In 1775, when the first shots rang out at Lexington and Concord, our forefathers stood not as soldiers of mighty army, but as farmers, merchants, and blacksmiths. They faced the greatest military power of the age, not with the certainty of victor, but with the certainty that to submit without resistance would be to betray the very essence of freedom. The struggle that followed was long and bitter. From the icy suffering at Valforge to the scorching fields of the South, from the waters of the Atlantic to the walls of Yorktown, the cause of liberty demanded sacrifice beyond measure. Men did not live to see the fruits of their labor, yet they fought on, believing that future generations might inherit a nation where the people, not crown, would rule. On July 4, 1776, they put their convictions to paper in a declaration that resounded across the world. In those words, they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. And they meant it. The war's end in 1783 was more than military triumph. It was a victory of principles over tyranny, of hope over despair. The United States of America was born not in comfort, but in courage. Yet, my friends, history has a way of echoing into the present. Today, we again see troubling shadows from across the Atlantic. The United Kingdom, in its current policies, seeks to impose measures of censorship, to strip away privacy, to pry into the lives and communications of free people. This is taxation of the mind, a control of thought and speech. And if left unchallenged, it can become chains as heavy as any worn in centuries past. We are not called today to take up muskets, but to take up words. We must wage a second revolution not of gunpowder, but of truth. We must flood the public square with reason, debate, and courage. We must defend the sanctity of speech, the shield of privacy, and the inalienable right to think and speak freely without fear. Let this be our call to arms. Awaken the minds of the people. Stand against this encroachment with conviction. The same spirit that defied tyranny in 1776 must rise again steady, bold, and unyielding. For in every age, the cause of liberty calls anew, and we must be ready to answer. And why I didn't say this aloud is because my mom is sleeping.